Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Great War edition of the Delhi Mughals. As the year now is 1801, 1 month later, then it will be the second year anniversary of the start of this very, very bloody war. As we look at the diplomatic map mode, so you know who's allied and who is enemy, of who are we facing currently, as you can, see. Kilwa has yet to join this war, but hopefully they'll soon wrap it up, and they will win it. They do have the manpower to help us out on what we need, and as for this war so far, we have yet to take the objective, Constantinia, which hence the reason why the war score is going down. And we will have a big jump with that war score if we take that, but we're quite a long way. And we sorted out these countries involved by war enthusiasm. The Ottomans are starting to feel it a little, because the relative strength of alliances is going down. So they'll be more willing to accept peace offers, but I am not accepting any Ottoman peace offer if, unless we take Constantinia. And also, there is a secondary objective that we still have yet to take, which I'll explain in a moment. Hormuz's war enthusiasm is medium. We're currently besieging their capital, so Hormuz will be out of the war this year soon. Same for Yaz, and likely Yemen too. But, my god, my god, my god. Look at the casualties so far in this war. Only 644,000 troops lost on the Allied side. We Mughals suffered the most, obviously. And as compared to the manpower reserves that we have. And obviously Britain has suffered quite a bit, and so did Venice, but Commonwealth suffered a lot more. And that's why their war enthusiasm is medium currently. So that's why we are currently sending a few armies towards Warsaw, because the Mughal presence in Europe, their job is to prevent the Commonwealth from collapsing and retake the territories that are occupied by the enemy and hold the line until more friendly raid forces come, or if the Commonwealth under their own initiative fight in other front lines and we have to be under independent command to fight against countries like Saxony. And we've lost 154 ships, mostly British and Venetian. Enemy losses are almost to 1 million, so it's over 1.5 million dead total. Ottomans suffered 500,000 troop losses. In Florence of 106. And France suffered as well, quite a plenty, but there's still a lot more where that came from. And of course, those who left the war will also be tallied, but we'll find out until the final end of this conflict, which may come in 2 or 3 more episodes. And the number of ships they lost, 236. Mostly Ottoman and Genoese. But as you can see, we still have many more deployed. And so is the enemy. It's not over yet, but the last episode saw some of the bloodiest battles ever. Especially in the 3rd battle of Shustar. My goodness, it happened in the last episode. Go check it out, people, in case you didn't see the first part. But now, let's return to the front. Okay, here's the situation. We are going to allow the Ottomans to retake some of the territories. We're resting up a bit, at least on our current positioning, where we built the relevant supply depots. In fact, need to sort some of this out. Where you move up to Mosul, we need, yes, these 2 armies. Our best general, Birak Bakrana, and And his subordinate, the Glory Seeker, Kambax Shahabuddin. You'll be taking a position. The other two will stay here because the reason we built this supply depots in the first place is to stop the attrition, which is becoming a bit problematic on our end. So, time to move out. As the enemy is moving away, and we will soon be taking possession, sink their fleet. Hormuz will be out of the war very soon, hopefully. We do not want to advance too far for this year, because if we allow further, it's going to make the Ottomans advance northwards, and they're going to shift their way to there. And also, while I appreciate Mongolian, Lana moving this way, but however, I think we can handle ourselves on our own. So if you see attached to ally, take them off. We are allowed to operate under our own initiative, because we're doing well on our own. We're turning this off. In case of Mongolian, Japanese, and Korean troops wish to commit to certain fronts, it would be best if they go to Europe, not here in the Perso-Iraqi front, where it's the deadliest war zone. It would be proper if they redeploy towards Europe. Oh, you still got a long way to go. Well, Warsaw has got very good supply limit, even though we're dealing with attrition damage due to a little bit of winter. Well, we have to go to there. We can't winter over. So, based on the direction of where we're going, we should arrive in Warsaw, Mazovia area. We will build a supply depot here, which will signify as the official headquarters of the Mughal armies in Europe. Mughal European Expeditionary Force. Once we arrive, our role is to assist the Commonwealth, and possibly to some degree the Venetians as well, to prevent them from collapsing. Because we can't allow them to lose and have a separate piece out of this war. Otherwise, this will make our jobs harder. And then it'll be up to us Asians to deal with this mess. But of course, winter is a period of rest for our front here. But it's no rest for the Ottomans, nor for the Europeans. And the reason why there's Ottoman forces going that way is possibly they're going this way to fight against the British there, which won't happen until next year. But we've sighted something. Kilwa. Thanks to the privateers of Kilwa, they have detected in the nearby sea zone the Cape of Good Hope, French 6th Fleet, led by Jean de Roqueperot. Not a good admiral, as he has 0 fire, 1 shock, 1 maneuverability. But look at the composition. 20 light ships, no, 24 light ships, 20 heavy ships, and 63 transports. That transports, I think they're transporting armies there. Who knows where they're headed? Whatever it is, I do not like it. We need to intercept them. They're likely going to either invade Hindustan, or the Malay Peninsula, or fight against the British in Indonesia, or to fight against that fleet, if only they were to turn back, which they are. Timor Sea. Forget about the Australians, and you should go deal with the French fleet. We need to deploy it. Break off the blockade. I mean, our composition is good, so I think we should both deploy now. What? Oh, armies. Excuse me. Did you see you there? It's gonna be the first action of Admiral Adabuto. Head to the Costa Automata. Quickly. We cannot lose contact with the French. We have to catch up to them. We're breaking off the blockade. Which means those ships are allowed to go wherever they damn well please, but... well, they're going to be outnumbered, so... these transport ships will take their place. They'll fight against them, sink them, because they're outnumbered, go back for repairs, and will volunteer 5 armies to be sent to Egypt. Even if we have to bypass through the Yemeni fleet into the Red Sea to the Gulf of Suez and land here and spread out to take there, Alexandria. In fact, take the entirety of the region of Egypt, as well as eventually fight all the way to Darna to drive them out. As the Ottomans still have a formidable navy, as they are still yet to be tested, but we are sending our fleets to be stationed in Salonika. In Macedonia. Whatever is the Hindi pronunciation of the area, but it's occupied by Commonwealth at the moment. They have a grand shipyard, which will make faster repairs, so they'll be back in action this spring. These are the 4 armies. And we may send one more to, again, Egyptian front. So it's going to be these armies under the command of Islam Shah Chagatai, who is the one that's going to be going to Egypt. And he's goal-oriented for faster movement speed, which would be wise. But it needs another general. Since we still got our, our good generals out there. Including myself, Babo II. But there's a possibility we may be assisted with it. But I told the order to turn back because we can handle this ourselves. Based on our combat performance. As well as the reduction of attrition. Chin Timur Sinan is our best general for the Mughal armies in Europe. Shah Alam Rahuddin is another. Son, how old are you? 15. Right. So I was inaugurated on 8th of January. So it's been a while. And once the son turned 16 years old, actually, he's already at that age. It's just by the end of this month, he's going to pick up a personality. So he's already come of age. Son, you're in the army now. What do you got? 3 fire, 5 shock, 6 maneuver, 1 siege. Well, based on your current position, you're going to this army. Makes you a 3-star general for this. But you know what? You will be the best general. Again, armies to be assigned to the Egyptian front that will be sent to. As we will keep our promise. Mongol revolutionaries. We didn't take, other countries potentially revolutionary into consideration. And there is revolutions in France, but hopefully it doesn't turn revolutionary. There is none in the Commonwealth, which again, the birthplace of revolution was in Tunis. Okay. So that is our strategy for 1801. They must continue their path, and they will be arriving around spring in Warsaw, and build a supply depot here to signify his unofficial headquarters, as they do not have a fortification, even though they should. I don't know why they don't. Army of Bosnia. Well, I think it would be unofficial to say the Commonwealth practically played a role of the Slavic Union rather than Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, as Lithuania is a independent nation, a monastic order to be exact, not a holy order. So yes, monastic, fort maintenance, zealous administration, partial secularization. Interesting little country who remains obviously neutral in this war. But we wish we could bring other potential allies in. Florida's at war with the natives. Okay, just them, so it'll be a short-lived conflict for Florida. But Florida has now given conditional military access to the enemy. And so yes, us too. So finally, Florida, despite its first 2 years under, neutrality, has finally decided to, well, it's like, okay, you got me. You've pressured me for all sides, so we're gonna give conditional military access to everyone who's involved in this world war. But, I know this is irrelevant, but, so they still consider the, them as the enemies. And the neighbors, well, not so much of that. So you could say, what sympathies do you have towards the Ottomans? Neutral. Basically, the religious differences doesn't make it much, but it's considered neutral. Well, what about France? You gave them access first. Else military access? Opinion of heretics. Ah, of course, France's Reformed Church. Florida is a Catholic kingdom. But if Florida were to participate in the World War, I think they would have been allied because of, well, religious differences. Which again, Portuguese cultured, in fact, age 15, so his rule just began. Just a classic form of a kingdom. So, with Florida given access, and so is Portugal, that means the war in North America has escalated. As France and Great Britain are fighting, although Britain's about to lose this one. Forces of Newfoundland, George William Cabot, will reinforce, as they're going to take on an army whose morale's already been lowered by the recent fighting. And more British forces are to come. British-Mexican, another French force, so... In fact, most of the French armies have been sent to North America. So the war in America escalates. Where does Spain stand? Military access to everyone involved in the World War. But will remain neutral. But improving relations with the nations out in the New World. Basically, they're just trying to keep their colonies. Views Florida as an enemy. But Spain doesn't like... Oh, it doesn't like all the major powers, including us Mughals, so they'll just say, sit this one out, neutral. If they try to intervene on either side, well then, it would be viewed as a great benefit or a great enemy, and it would turn the tide, but nobody's in the right frame of mind to intervene. As far as who's involved in the great powers. Florida's not a great power, but it is a regional power in North America. It's been 20 minutes, so now let's return to the front line. So we know Hormuz will fall, and these 4 armies, including one more, which will likely be this one, sit here. My goodness, the old first. The old first army. No, Sikandar Shah, my son, you should be assigned to the old guard. You should be assigned to the old army. The very first army that's been around since the days of Sirhind and the Delhi Sultanate. Plus, it has some experience with it being somewhat drilled. So for this spring, hold Iraq, let the Turks come. If they pick a battle where they must fight, where they cannot refuse, we will reinforce quickly and bleed their manpower dry. Got it? Let's go. We've taken the area. Excellent news. I say excellent news. Kua has taken Kashan, Socotra, Gada, Katirid. It'll be forced to give reparations. So that means the war is finished. But they have not yet called to arms because they still view the Ottomans. Well, that is the reason why we have to continue building up trust with them. We need to get them up all the way. Although I could influence the nation unless I did prior. So need to increase their opinion further. There's no need to improve further relations with Morocco. We did what we did. What it's needed is to tell Kua to join. You may look highly upon the Ottomans because they give you good services and all of that. Maybe it's just you being Sunni and you respect the Hanafi school, which we're part of that same school. Plus, they have a little bit of war exhaustion, which is understandable. So we're gonna need to influence them, and this is gonna send out a lot of money to them. Gonna take a while because them joining the war would be of great benefit, but they're gonna be hard to convince because they like the Ottomans. In fact, how much do you like the Ottomans? Should be listed as enemies, neighbors. Ottomans, 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 Ottomans. Here it is. Yes, they have improved relations between one another big time. And it's not going to go away anytime soon. So, gotta keep kissing up to it. Just send them money. And then send more money. By sending a gift, which we'll do that next year. Send them some more money. And then continue to build up the trust. Although we are at war, so we can't use that to ask prepare for war. But spend 10 favors to reduce opinion of another country, like say the Ottomans, like they suddenly hate each other. Sounds like a good idea, but that'll take a couple of months on the political front. Anyways. Fire. Because we're sending the Navy to intercept the French fleet. Send Kaifa. Mosul's a safe place because of all this river crossings. Except towards the direction of Sinjar, which they are heading to there now. The real question is where. Also, before we continue on the war, let's get to know each other. We got so many leaders. I need to know the ages of each and every one of them. So we know the ages 2 years ago, at the start. So, how old are you? All of you? Kampak Shalbudin, 29. Chin Timo Siman, 49. Elder statesman. He's been around since 1787. And he's been around since 1797, so definitely pre-war. Humayun Jahan, 1796, he's 31. Bera Vakran, 26, even though a couple of years younger than him, but obviously more talented. Before the war. Islam Shah Chagatai, 39. Shah Alam Rarudin, 21. Youngest of the bunch. Our new admiral, 38 years old. We know, 15. So, youngest general, but he's the heir to the empire. Babur, 31, as we know. Murad Shah Singh, 50 years old, the eldest. Islam Shah Uzbek, admiral, 20. Harun Zahib Ruddin, 41. And Murad Shah Naga, 19. Well, we could hire one more admiral, but obviously we've already assigned to all the relevant fleets. Unless somebody wants to manage the transport fleets as a whole. You know, to defeat the Yemeni Navy if they happen to be in the way. But please remember, each and every one of these ships of how many, sailors it takes up. In fact, you can look at that right now. Keep that well in mind, ladies and gentlemen. How many sailors are on board on each of these ship types. So you can get an idea. Including that flagship of ours. So yes, sailors on board, that's how many. Now do that math on a ship of losses of each of those types, but you'll know until war's end, then we'll do further math here. Now, continue. Because things are about to escalate here, as we're still on our way to Europe. Armies cannot recover any morale while moving with forced march enabled, so they need to rest in order to get the morale up. See? That's why we tell them to don't stop moving. We must get to Warsaw, be in position here for a while, then we'll figure out how to deal with them. As we know who are they involved. I'm giving you a month. But that's only if they begin to set sail, then we'll intercept them. Speaking of interception. Where are they headed? Just as I suspected, they're going that way. Gotta get to there. We gotta intercept them out at open sea. Our heir is a bold fighter. Land leader shock up. Glad I taught you in the ways of martial. So, he's a shockman. The old cavalry is for. Definitely going to be the best general of the Egyptian front when we open it up, while we will remain here at guard. '71. Hormuz is not yet surrendered. As I said, let them retake their positions. We need to keep them away from Europe. We are to hold our positions. We could have done scorched earth earlier, but we didn't have time for that. Where are the French fleet going? This way. God dang it. Already committed to movements. Stop. We're gonna be engaged out at sea soon. Central Indian Ocean. Already taking 96 damage. Well, our admiral's better than theirs, but we got a lot of firepower in this fleet. But the question is, can they hold? We'll not retreat in this sea battle. And about to have our first engagement. And it looks like we will be in Warsaw earlier than scheduled. So it is normal winter here. That lowers the supply limit. But we need everybody here, so we'll build it here. Because it appears all the Commonwealth armies have committed to there. But as for the Venetians, I'm not sure. In fact, another question for you. Are you in debt? Any of you? No debt? No debt. Good. Just checking. Killa! Hey. We need you to join this war. I don't care if you love the Ottoman Empire. You'd need you to betray them. Yes. Do that. Okay. So, I told you to do the favor and just say you dislike them. But is that of any effect? We'll find out next month. We'll ask again. I'm telling them to betray their... I mean, they're not allies officially, but you know what I mean. Uh-oh. Fleet's back in action again. And so are we. While meanwhile, naval action to take place out there. French fleet out there has been defeated by the British. No. So we'll get them out there. It's coast right next to the Maritas. Oh, you see. Yep. Definitely the war in North America had escalated. I mean, the devastation varies, but Portuguese Mexico, British Mexico, well, some areas there's joy of prosperity, but those that are under occupation will take a part of that. And I guess that means troops of the 13 colonies not committed yet. I don't think they've gotten military access. They do. Florida's giving you access, so why aren't you crossing there? Heck, there's even a British army in Alaska. Again, the largest French fleet is out there. We can't stand out here anymore. We got to fight against them. And we just told Killa to betray the Ottomans of their friendliness. Lack of a general term. Our first encounter in fought against Lunenburg in Lublin. And we will arrive by March. Earlier than scheduled thanks to the forced march, and they have to stop moving. They have to rest up and wait for the others. It'll keep the enemies away from Warsaw, But they're trying to take Krakow. Not Krakow. It's farmlands. Our forces should be able to defeat them, but we need to get together first, and then we'll help out the 2 Commonwealth armies here. I would assume the war in Hormuz is over. So we're gonna kick their fleet out. They'll shoot them up. You know what? Simply for the sake of it, get me one more admiral. Someone's gotta run the transport fleet. Of course, not as well skilled, but you get the idea. There. Someone's gonna have to manage. A fleet with no admiral is not a fleet at all. I don't know. There's gotta be a term for this. The Mongol army will be fighting in our... I was about to say trenches, but... they're gonna do that for us and defeat the Yemeni army up in Shiran. So they'll handle it. While we're gonna keep the Ottomans gathering and keep them away from Europe as this wants to be committed. Again, we ordered all of our allies to not link up with us. All of them must operate independently of each other. So, the armies who are arriving in Warsaw. Meanwhile, our morale isn't as good because we had a long ways to travel. Plus, their morale is better than ours. Plus, France is under a golden era, so... yikes. I think they may break our nerve first, but currently it's our heavy ships in action. Meanwhile... yes, they're gonna hit a few holes on us. But we'll do what we can. Come on, get together. Yes, get together. So you can get up transport. And then go up to Avaz, rest up a bit. And then we're going to take you all to Egypt. As promised. Large forces heading to Sinjar. Wherever the battle may be fought, we will hold the line. Remain at your positions. We have many more in reserve to keep them back. Alright, supply depot here. So, for the Mazovia area, this is going to be the most well-supplied place we have. Until this winter blows over, then about at least 90,000 of us will be happy here. Happy to be here. Just rest up a bit. Let the morale recover. And we'll begin operations in spring. And they've realized with our presence here now, they've just turned back. They left Krakow. Likely going to commit to this front, so soon our objective will be to retake Velikopolska, including the fort of Poznan. Old castle, not a fortress. They have not improved their defenses. And then eventually, we will have to assist the post-Lithuanian Commonwealth. 2 simultaneous naval battles. Prize Hunter wants to capture our enemy ships. Good luck with that. Because try to defeat our heavy ships. They're throwing galleys at us, including their heavy ships. There's a 22% chance that they will capture our ships. But we are also being assisted by 1 Venetian light ship. Why aren't y'all coming? Well, they're gonna be coming. This third fleet over there. So our heavy guns is destroying them. Pay attention to this one. This one is more critical. Even though we're using our heavy ships and trying to sink most of them. But our morale is not gonna go well. Nobody got a good dice roll. The arms withdrew again, sinking only their heavy ships. It's gonna have to come down to galleys sooner or later. Actually, Lizzie. It's Commonwealth port, the only one... No, the Adriatic. Does it have a grand shipyard? Yes. Thank you. Make quick repairs. If they leave again, set sail. Okay. Although we're still going to be waiting for one more army to come, which is going to take a little bit while longer. And this one's mainly infantry support, just to be on par with the European armies. So again, we have to make our way, fight against Saxony, Brunswick, Lüneburg. They have to be out of the war. And then recommit to the defense down in the Balkans and into Veneto. And we have to defeat Florence and Genoa. French fighting against British Brazilian. Now it appears that the French have now turned their attention towards British Louisiana and will likely go to 13 colonies, territories which they will be met by them. They're committed. Another hard battle to be expected to be fought in this desert in New Mexico. What did I tell you? North American front. It actually escalated. Apparently it's another theater of war that's just as important considerably as the Central Asian front, which is now all but over. The Mongols are putting a hurt to them. Put in Shibaden. He's actually the ruler. He's a siege specialist, and defender receives 25% shock damage increase for nomads on flat terrain. Excellent! Keeping well in mind, after all this entire timeline, they never became a settled, they're steppe nomads, martial society, lip service, and centralized power. So, they still believe in the old ways, these Tengrists. Because Tengrist and no Sancretic faith gives you this, but with Sancretic faith, which is Vajrayana Buddhism, it's tolerance. They are of Mongol culture, alright. Yeah, an old man who's actually leading his heir to battle. That's who that is. That's his heir. Should just scroll down so you know the combat in case something happens. But it looks like they're really gonna commit here. But we're daring them to come. Well, we got this situation handled. After this defeat, Hormuz needs to be out of this war. Accepting would destabilize Kiowa. You sure about that? you have a truce with any of those warring factions? I mean, yes, you do, and that's what you fear. You have a truce with Yemen. That's the reason. So, kill us, we'll say no to joining the war after all the negotiations, all that. Bloody hell. Okay, very well. We can do it ourselves. Pay close attention. Jawan Bak Zairuddin, Naval Showman. Prestige for naval battles. Okay, your job is to transport our boys, okay? No need to get all, heroic about it. So you're here to pick up everybody. Hormuz's war enthusiasm is low. We'll negotiate them in a moment. Come on, we're waiting. Our strategy for this year is just to hold what we got. As we turn our attention to there. But we will not move until morale is recovered. But fortunately, Chin Timur Sinan is an inspirational leader, so we get a faster army morale to be recovered. So we'll begin moving on either April or May. But unfortunately, another Venetian fortress is about to fall. British Columbia is low war enthusiasm because it's the one with the war zone over there. Venice is he's still in the game. Hormuz, not much longer. But there are no friendly ships nearby, so we're all our own. We're just putting a hurt to them. But the problem is their morale is high because they are the real masters of the Navy, not us. They got a very good dice roll against us. Plus, they don't even have a flagship there. So we're starting to lose it here. They received the gift. So, if I can't convince you to join the war, then why bother? If I was to negotiate somebody else to be my potential ally, then subsidizing. Anyone who considers them as enemy will be considered as such. Hey, you're allied with Venice. Guaranteeing the independence of Brandenburg. Warned by Commonwealth. Again, looking for potential allies. I mean, I can't make alliances. It's going to be up to them to do so. Definitely not Scandinavia. Zagreb's fallen. We need to give them hope, and soon. We gotta go beat them up, retake Poznan, and then we'll go down here and help the Venetians. That's what we need to do. Come on, what are you doing? What are you afraid of? Whichever battle is to be fought, we'll be heading to there. Temujin. That's him. If only, because if Temujin Bojin, he would be a 3-star general. A lot of shock, some fire, high maneuver, basically have the same skills as Sikandar. If Genghis Khan was a character and a general, I think he would be having those kind of skills. Maybe a little more higher siege. Just try to imagine people. Stop with the bloody jokes. So, our nerve is gonna break. But morale could recover if we can take out their heavy ships. And then our jobs will be easier. We'll start sinking a bunch of them. Okay, some of them are leaving. Get on board. All of you. Okay, we leave. Hormuz is going to be out of the war. So, what do you want? Because I want no territories on all treaties of the Ottomans. Get this amount. No pillaging, as it says. There's no reason to do so. Couldn't fit everybody. Okay. Don't get off your bike then. One moment, please. I'm against this idea, but you're all merging as one, so... There's 111 of you. Guess I missed you. There you go. So we're transporting 5 armies, so... Again, we only require 5 armies. We need to leave one behind to go with them. And we'll open up this frontier. Bypass Yemen. I mean, Yemen has medium more enthusiasm because their military strength, because their army was defeated by the Mongols. But maybe perhaps a quick siege to their capital, and then that's it for them. That would be an idea. But we need Sikandar Shah. He needs to go with them. To the old guard. Ottomans are taking a crossing penalty. Who's that? The Mongol monarch himself leading this army. It's not yet April, because you're not going to take actions until April or so. But we will try to catch them while they're out there. So Yemen quickly, and then Egypt. Kill will not join them because they don't want to destabilize themselves by breaking truces to the others. What's it got to do with you? Sink the ships. It's the only way to keep our morale up. Broke their nerve just by sinking some of their heavy ships while we've lost a few of ours. So we got them turned away. But you know what? Follow them. Follow to the ends of the earth if you have to. Unless they're gonna go to Coco's Island. Which they have a grand shipyard there. Of course. April 1st. Well, we found this one army is going. Oh, we just left a weak spot there. Well, keep it notified, because Beta Vagrana will take care of things. Be taking a river crossing penalty, that's good. But the question is, will they commit? Anyways, now that you're all here, volunteers. Why is this less? Did you split away from other armies? Yeah, you split away from that one. Hang on. Get back together. These are the 5 armies you asked for. These are the ones you want them to be volunteered to Egypt. Those are the guys you asked for. And in the meantime, as you were, they're out. Ready? So again, General Sikandar Lodi and Islam Shah Chagatai are to be headed to Yemen first. So we gotta crush the Yemeni fleet and then take their capital. Then the war enthusiasm should be low enough that they'll back out of this war, clearing our path to Egypt to relieve the pressure here and draw some of them here. And hopefully our talented generals will defeat them with this many forces that we've sent out there. Ready? Yes. Let's go. To Krakow. Oh, wait a minute. These 2 Commonwealth armies, armies of Wulin and armies of Poznan, are sticking with the Mughals. Even though we never asked... Oh. What did I tell you? Operate independently. Rely on yourselves. We're here to provide support. You don't support us. Move out. And remember, Mazovia area is our headquarters. So we're heading straight to there. They're going to where? Back here? They serious? I mean, it's not yet confirmed in the battle, but 126,000 are moving this way. You may want to consider making moves now. So he's going after this army led by Murat Shah Singh. We just left the gap. They're going to Arbil. But I dare them to go this way. And we will engage the enemy out there. You know, 50,000 versus 30,000. We are outnumbered, outgunned. But please wait. Please wait for the others. The reason you are moving so damn fast is because of that high maneuverability. You're an eager one, Shah Alam. Wait for reinforcements. Now you can go. It'll begin on the 11th for Battle of Krakow. And this battle here will soon begin as they're gonna commit themselves this way. And which ones we will commit? These armies. These will still be kept back in reserve. And I understand you haven't left yet, but we'll depart soon, don't you worry. It's just they need to be fully repaired. There's a grand shipyard here, is there? Yes. You'll depart in May. Ahmed Osmangulu, the leader himself. Yeah, that's the Khan himself. But nomads fight a lot better in flat terrain areas like here. So we're fighting forces of Brabant, or Brabant, which is a personal union with France. So it's French army by extension. They've not set sail yet. But will there be a naval action out there again? In this area? Now listen. Despite all this, I mean, we do have fleet basing rights, so we can go to any part of the Kilwan coast to make repairs. Now they're close by, or Madagascar. Yeah, there it is. You'll be fine. We got a place to fall back to deal with any more French incursions. Movement locked. So, 26. Need this many forces to bail them out. Some may have to stop moving because of we're reinforcing. Battle Greco's already begun. Commonwealth's coming to assist. Yeah, we'll be crushing them. Battle's already begun out there, as we could see the land combat. Diego Suez Bay. I think I have an idea where they're going. They have an island to fall back to. So we'll keep watch. Again, you'll depart in May. Where are they heading? Oh, they're not quite there yet. They're far off. Don't worry. They're gonna take severe casualties for this. Meanwhile, we're about to save those two. We'll be there in a few days. Just hold the line. We'll be taking the river crossing. Here comes the good general to take things over. To provide more land fire damage. It's still under shock now, but wait until fire. We got rid of them all. Get back over there. As far as supply limits concerned. This here's good. Get back. Mozambique Channel, see? Does it have a shipyard? Yes. All depends on who strikes their nerve first. On a shot. They withdrew. You did well. I'll tell you what. Return to your posts. You did a good job of luring them over here because it's a river crossing. Haha. Told you. Heading to Mars. Actually, French fleet to Commonwealth. Yes. Just as suspected, so we'll keep an eye on things. This time we won't take attrition. So try not to get too overzealous. Because that morale is needed. Because of that forced march thing. Though we soon have to go down to the Balkans and help them out. Where are y'all going? Corfu? Taking Corfu would be beneficial to kick that fleet out. May have to blockade them soon if you are indeed committed. What's your siege skill? 3. Good enough. Mongols are retreating, unfortunately, but Dai Viet is on the way to fight against the Ottoman army up there. In fact, they'll be there in time before they even have a chance to leave. Vietnamese, very good fighters. They are more infantry oriented. They would definitely maul the Ottoman armies out there. Well, now the Mongols have entered into our front. They have to get through the mountain range first. But they figure out what we're doing. We could catch them, but that's a river crossing in its highlands. We don't want to do that. You've got to be wise for this. Set sail. Head to there. Actually, the Port of Zabit is in this season, so to there. Your objective: take the capital, because their war enthusiasm is medium. Taking their capital would definitely hurt it, including the occupied territory portion. Over 1 million now total for the enemy. Possibly more for the ones that are out of the war. And no end to this endless flow of manpower. But we've lost nearly half of our manpower, so pressure is starting to crack a little. You know, Krakow is a well-developed territory. Maloposka, we need to build another supply depot here when we come back here. So we're really committed to defending the Polish-held areas until further reinforcements arrive, if they can get here fast enough. And then things will be dandy. You know, how long is this thing going to expire for the German administration? Till February, so next 3 years, so we're good. Okay, so situation. The enemy will get again. I think we should remain on the defensive for this front for the rest of this year. Surprised they have not taken back Diyarbakir. We are fully committing our forces. Hey, get on board, you morons! We're going to Yemen, all of you. Useless heads. Now, again, remain on the defensive. Let the Mongols, Vietnamese run loose. The other armies will commit towards Europe. Soon there'll be more reinforcements coming, including the Japanese. Including the Japanese armies, which they have yet to face any form of real combat. They have not been battle tested. Well, clearly we have been tested here in Europe. In the Polish areas. So we're fighting mainly on the Polish front, and soon we'll transfer to Carpathia and the Northwest Balkan front. Because Venice is on the verge of collapse because of a lack of war enthusiasm, meaning they're more likely to ask the Ottomans if they want out of this war. So we got to give them hope. So by June, we will move out. And as we move, make a quick stop at Krakow, build one more supply depot here, and then we'll fight the enemies in the Carpathian and Northwest Balkan regions, having our first encounters with the Florentine forces to save the Venetian troops, mostly mercenaries, and then they'll be dealt with if we can break through Florence and head to their capital, Firenze, in Tuscany. And as well as subsequently the Papal forces and Genoese as well, as they're another big contributor. And we are aware that the French may have sent most of their forces outside towards other theaters, particularly North America. I don't know what deemed them so important to them. But we know there are some French armies in Europe that remain. But if we can break through the Holy Roman Empire, as you can see the political map mode of, whatchamacallit, where is it? That relates to HRE. It's here somewhere. Imperial. Yeah, those are the members of the Holy Roman Empire that you see there. Including areas that are currently occupied by their allies to them. So break through any of the factions who are of the HRE, and it will eventually get into France, and then all forces can concentrate towards the Ottomans and the road towards Constantinia. But for now, we must move. Move quickly. And make an amphibious landing to Yemen. In fact, starting here, your starting point, where we'll send at least one army to quickly besiege this territory, and then they'll be out of the war. While we occupy here, and occupy there, and we'll start working our way up towards Egypt. Especially taking the forts of there and there. This will draw some of them away, and we'll begin our offensive moves towards Aleppo. And we'll let the forces there to take all along the coast, up to Palestine, to Antioch, then to, what is this area called? Chukurova. I think it was formerly known as Cilicia here, long ago. And then Ankara, and then you'll be at Constantinople. But that's our plan for the next 2 years of our operations. We will remain on the defensive. It's all up to you. Volunteers. 150 regiments worth of them. Good luck. May Allah be with you. Just stick around. Check what they're up to. Speaking of checking, I don't know why we still have this one transport ship of us. You play scout. Check out the French fleet had left. just in case. They remain as they are. And due to the transports there, they weren't carrying troops at all. We feared they were, but apparently not. They were not carrying troops at all. As you were. So they're just out there. So, again, the main battles are in New Mexico, Colorado Plateau, and Arizona. And Chihuahua. And we lost visual of the French force, but are likely going to the Ozarks, up Louisiana, southern Illinois, and fearfully into 13 colonies territories as they finally decide to get a move on. Unless there's French over there as well. Who knows? So, good scout report. Care to join us? Even though I ordered them not to join any of our armies, because I had that turned off. Yes. Yes, I did. Now it's the French turn to take Krakow. We'll get a move on soon. After we defeat this French army, then we got to go down to Carpathia. That area's become defenseless. The Commonwealth may fully commit to retaking Polish territory. No, they're just roaming around. Who knows for what for? I think they're going to Yemen. I think that's what they're for. But we'll knock Yemen out of the war. Who could forget Yas? You know what? You guys take care of Yas. I don't care about Yas. They contribute very little. I think that's the direction they're going. They're going for Yas. Yemen is... Again on our way. And in June, we gotta get a move on for the Mughal Expeditionary Force in Europe. June. Now we're about to face 8 heavy ships, but unfortunately it's all of us transports with no support. And our job is to destroy the French fleet out there. Hey! There's ships out there. And the Venetians will soon surrender. We need to begin the blockade. They're committed now. Istria. Now they're going to begin to run roughshod over the Balkans. Putting pressure on the Commonwealth. Especially what they're doing in Krakow. Move, move, move. Defeat them here. Get down to the Balkans. Get down to Carpathia and the Balkans. They got away. They just got to their port. You were good for something. Heavy battle in the Ottawa. Not far from Texas, but it's in occupied territory. they took a river crossing. Inspiration leader. Matthew Clive of British Mexico is the leader, but my goodness. Fervent focus on war. So the French have really stepped up this time, becoming a formidable enemy. Now they're back to being enthusiastic again. And Venice, despite all this, yeah, they're cut off with the rest of them. And soon there might be more ships to join us. We will defeat the fleet out here. We'll be arriving on the 7th of June to begin landings. Okay, who's the best in siege? Islam Shah Chagatai. You'll be the only army there. Rest of you. Sikandar Shah Lodi, you'll have the honor to be the first ones to go into Egyptian territory. You'll follow and land here in Nassau. That's Yemenite territory. Got it? I think they are committing themselves towards Europe. They know their territory is being invaded. That's why they're turning back. We gotta give them hope. French will leave at the 10th. Battle will begin at the 11th. Oh, the French will be out of there in time. So we won't have our first encounter with the French. Forces will be facing his mainly Genoese. Hold here. Wait for reinforcements in a day. God's sakes. Can't go all gung-ho about it. So we'll be there on the 11th. French will be out of there by then. And then after they're dealt with, we gotta get down there. Scare them off of the Balkans. And we found the best French general of the entire war. He's got a lot of fire, which would definitely put a hurt on us unless we make a team effort. They will make their landings. When you will land. Okay, we see the armies arrived. Next month. Okay. Check it back next month. Front line stabilized here, so they can recover. While things are about to get nasty up here. Or will the French come and commit? Is the real question. Yes, they are. They'll be there in the next 2 days. So we're throwing our lot here. If you guys can come over here, it would be grand. We sunk them all. This area's not yet fallen yet, but it's about to be reinforced and we'll blockade them out here. Further assist by other fleets. It's farmlands. And that's the leader of the Republic of Genoa. We'll be there on the 20th. We'll be killing a lot of them by then. Got a good roll against me. They switched generals. General Friedrich August Taut of Saxony. 4 fired 3 shots. Are you sure you are coming? Well, they are. They're going to be on their way. Just hold the line. Because when the French arrive, they're going to be a difference maker. And they have. But it's still going to be led by the Saxon general. Because Genoa is now being assisted by French troops, which is going to add even more to the morale. They're on their way. They're coming. Just try to hold the line. As stated before, it's gotten nasty out there. They're crossing over, so likely gonna go deliver against Yas. Gods help us. We're gonna get outnumbered a bit. And we can't defeat their morale. We have the discipline. They keep getting good rolls against us. They're mauling us. Friendly reinforcements will be arriving in just a few more days. Just hang on. And Venetian troops will be there a little later. Got the shock against them. Oh, we're the best at cavalry. But not necessarily on fire. Oh my god. There's more. What have we got ourselves into? And I see another Commonwealth army. Poznan. Biggest European battle of the war. Oh, Jesus. We have morale. And reinforcements will be arriving in just a few days. We're gonna get outnumbered. Because that's mostly Florentine forces. And there's even more coming! I don't think we can defeat them. But we'll do what we can to put enough damage to them. We know that troops have landed in Yemen by then. So, Commonwealth Army, Free Company, large Free Company, will be there. Armia de Suato, Venice, will be here tomorrow. In 2 more days, another army will be coming in. This is all the reinforcements that the Allies have sent. Wait 1 day. Naval for us. We want the Yemen out of the war immediately. Largest European battle there is, and there's gonna be even more. But this is all that they've sent. Show us what you got. They got a new general from what country is that? Augsburg. Oh god, my cannoneer. Oh, he's gonna kill us with their artillery. Even though we have more, but a lot of us have retreated. 11,000 has retreated more. Many of us have retreated. And we still got plenty more in reserves. But it's that French morale of Ilan, aspiring leader, and all the other generals involved. Just, as I said, they're killing us. And they may best us. If by some miracle you can get to Krakow fast enough. Oh, they've got a good roll on us. Different general, led by the king. And we're definitely outnumbered. Morale's going down. They're killing us with fire. They're backing off now. Guess we have no choice but to withdraw. We're outnumbered here. This is a terrible defeat. They're not active yet. About to be a naval battle in Timor Sea. Australian and French fleets. It appears the British have lost this one. It's that French morale. Defeating the French would be the hard part. Soon Corfu will surrender and we'll defeat the Ottoman fleet. Which, we can defeat them maybe, but on land we just took a horrific loss here. We need to fall back to somewhere. Woman, here. Go to here. Nope. We're going as far as back this way. We're out of this combat zone. Again, of all the losses that we just took, it's just horrific. It was a disaster because we did not realize the amount of strength they are bringing. And that makes the European front a very hard one to deal with. We just saved the regiments that we could. And it's not a good look for the Commonwealth on their war enthusiasm. Because if we lose the Commonwealth, then that means they're going to start taking out this way and they're going to start shifting this way sooner or later. But all the land troops have landed safely and we will begin our path towards this way on the Egyptian front. That we're opening it up. So this is our worst defeat yet. And Krakow will fall. And likely Warsaw with it too. And the Commonwealth will fall. So we should recommit towards Balkans if they're still gonna be in this war. All of us. Meanwhile, other hard battles also taking place. Glory Seeker. Not a good idea. Don't you know how many there are? I think the Commonwealth's lost this war. And that means Venice will lose it too. Rather horrified with what just happened out there. While we were able to salvage what we can, but again, they can't reinforce anymore. It's the discipline that they held firm. This is not a good year. Not a good year. But we intend to strike back. Damn them. As I said, this is going to make our jobs harder. They may clinch this battle between the two monarchs. No, they've lost too. They're gonna be out of this soon. Krakow will fall. And, Warsaw likely as well. Just didn't know how many there were back there. Now, clearly we do. Come on, let's go. Corfu was taken, and sunk 2 more ships. One of these is you're gonna keep picking them up one by one. What's it gotta take for these bastards? That ain't too young yet. Make a few repairs. I'm gonna keep hunting them down. Perhaps we should commit to the Balkans. It's just we picked a good place to fight, but unfortunately they've bested us. Come on, follow me. In fact, you may want to consider just a hold here. Somewhere where they have to stand and fight. That place. It's gonna be up to our talented general. What's it gotta take? Do they have defensive ideas? Yes, they do. Damn it! Guess it's up to us Asians to fight the war. And we're gonna have to deal with the Ottoman fleet many times to defeat them, and to get to Constantine ourselves. But I can't say I blame them. Y'all did your part. It's the French that's the ones that are the real killers here, because of their extremely high morale ever since they've decided to have an opportunity to use the golden eras. Which means they're going to be at their very best. Who's else is out there? An Australian fleet. I don't know about this, because if I go that way to chase them, we're opening a door for them, and that would endanger our transport fleet. Can't have that in our conscience now, can't we? So we may have to begin a dash offensive towards there next year than anticipated, because of the deteriorating situation in Europe. If the Commonwealth surrenders, the armies must commit down to the Caucasus and join us. And yes, there will do this meeting, but it's going to take a lot more than that. In fact, all there will do is meeting. Oh, it's low now, so Commonwealth could surrender soon. They're about to lose Krakow. Yeah, they're coming down this way. Head to Girga. This is going to be the place to defend. And you need to be there quickly. Come on, fall. Zabit's falling. Bypass them. Come on. Ready for pickup. And we'll be heading to there. Get negotiations to get Yemen out of the war. What do you want? Again, we're looking for a glimmer of hope here. Because we do not wish to engage the Yemen. Allied casualties nearly reached 1 million. Might reach 1 million by the year's end. Head to there and help them out. So I think this is going to be the end of the war for the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and their participation, and they may have to give some territorial gains to countries like Saxony or whomever. I don't know. But we'll know. You know what? Begin your advance. Particularly stay away from areas that has highlands. Shift it this way. And all of you reservists, stay behind. We have to begin the offensive early. Because I don't know what the hell is Lon not doing over there. It's not mountains, it's drylands. The holy city of Jerusalem itself. I see. Again, there's no winter down here, but certainly up there, but it's going to be harsh for us, so we're remaining our position here, because that's where we're going to meet back and reinforce it to see too if we can come back, because heavy French involvement is our own undoing, but we may have to commit to the Balkans to save Venice. Commonwealth's hopeless at this point, as Ottomans are now committed to there. No, my God, no! Stop! Stop here! Stop here, all of you! Who's that? Yes. Okay. There you go. You got it. They're out of the war too. So is Yemen. Well, if you guys down here, at least you could help us out with this one. So now they're starting to feel the pressure, but mostly due to casualties of the strength than anything else and war exhaustion. You're fully repaired to go check if the French fleet is still there. They haven't stopped moving. It's a long way. Land here. Present. Let's go crush him out there. Help him out. Our first big battle of this secondary front that we opened. Even though it's in Red Sea Hills, it eventually, does connect up to Sinai. It's part of the Egypt region we're talking about, yes? Yes. First big battle of the Egyptian front. As we decide to advance just in desert areas, they need to make a move. because the Commonwealth might leave this war. Because their military strength is not what they're used to. And that leaves Warsaw very, very vulnerable. But Krakow's about to fall. You have defensive ideas, right? Yes. They can hold on stubbornly. Oh, you all of your morale will recover by then? It's not the end of the world here. While they're looking to hire more mercenaries. If you're going to be hiring more mercenaries, mind if I send you a gift? I know it doesn't improve, but let me help you with that. Just to make up for all your manpower losses and you want to rely on mercenaries to keep it going, I'm going to give you 10,000 ducats for this. As a show of goodwill, if you want to keep it going. Same for Venice. Because you are in danger of losing your territories too. Okay, control is quarter, but this is 100 each. So, and if Venice and Commonwealth were to leave the war, the European front is over. All we have to do is, well, get to Constantinia and capture it as quickly as possible. And the British are never going to commit to the European front, as they much care about defending the Americas. Which, no doubt that they are retaking these positions that they've lost. But I'm sure if they defeat the French armies in Northern America, then that means that, well, that's good for them. So they haven't left. Flagship of Terra Australian. Already captured 3 of them. Only one army's turned back, so we're gonna destroy this one. If they're really thinking about committing. It has begun here. Knowing that their participation was over, I mean, at least you'll give us access. Fleet basing rights. We'll speak again soon, in 8 days. For fleet basing rights. At least we have a place to fall back to in case Venice and Commonwealth are out of the war. So we have a place to fall back to and make repairs for our ships. Glad you're still with us. Glad you respect the Hanafi school, fellow Sunni brother. So this last army will arrive on the 13th. And then after that, we'll have to get moving again. We gotta return to the front. 2 at a time. And we gotta commit to the Balkan front. Because, called Balkan Carpathian Front. But I think taking their capital is gonna be their definite end of the war. Because they've taken Krakow. Even if we have to scare them away, it's going to lead to another horrific battle which we cannot win. Japanese, Mongolian, Vietnamese. Still recruiting newer regiments to be sent to the front lines. At least you're all down here and will help us out. Well, meanwhile, things get ugly here. And more reinforcements will be on their way, but it's going to take longer. Again, 13. It's your first day of combat, Sikandar, my son. We know that general very well. But we're losing it here. They withdrew. What'd you get? Battlefield medic. You must have learned it from... No. Huh. There was another general who was also battlefield medic. Islam Shah's goal-oriented. Yeah, they're throwing their lot this way. Unless you want to go this way, take Constantinople. I mean, they're throwing their lot to their way. Again, Venice may be down, but it's not out. But Commonwealth, well, they're definitely going to be out. They're going to lose their capital and they'll lose everything. It's going to make our job harder. I've only sent them money just to hire more mercenaries if they need to. No need to take up loans if they were going to be in deep in debt. Okay. If by some miracle, if we could scare them away from their capital, then there is a chance that it will have to go down to Carpathia, Balkans. Because the armies will soon be assisting them, and that's gonna make things harder again. We just can't do it without them, but... I'm not saying the British are hopeless, it's just drawing some of the French away from mainland Europe. I mean, that's fine to an extent. I don't mind that. Right, now that they're in retreat, we'll head to there. Remember the secondary objective from the beginning? We mentioned that controlling the Suez Canal is another priority to us. Come on, move up. We still got some places to go. Haleb is just right around the corner. Rocket taken. Alright. To Aleppo. That army, you follow us. Go help them with the siege. We're there to support you. This way. No, God blast it. Remember the force march? You don't have it anymore. Well, every time you're defeated, your force march goes away. If by some miracle we can get there fast enough. If it falls, then war is over for the Commonwealth. Fortress. Good. To keep them busy. Remember the deal we had. So yes, we're just moving bodies of troops from one place to another. So we're going into Levant, we're cutting them off, surrounding them, and we'll kill them out there. While the Asian forces, we take care of Arabia, take this area, and then eventually they'll join us, and we'll be able to move up. And next year, Anatolian campaign, and we must march to Constantinople no matter what. That's the main objective of this war, and that's how we're gonna win this war. And the only territorial gain I wanted is the Suez Canal. That's it. It's just to establish presence. I don't know about the rest of Egypt, but based on how it looks right now, well, that idea might be unrealistic at this point. Because, you know, we're back to a corner. They're still hanging on. We won't make it, but we better damn well try. There's no shame in trying. You got no siege skill? You bloody disgrace. Not willing to commit to... It's only Germans, there's no river crossing. Then just throw your lots there. Come on. Attrition's killing us. Battle out there, but that's it. 18 days. Wow, it's quite a move. Okay, we have the means to move in. Come on, with us. So we decide to cut off Syria. So we decided to take Syria so we can cut them off into two. So it'll be easy for the Egyptian campaign for us to handle. And then we'll take 2 more forts and we'll put more pressure on the Ottomans. Lundberg's occupied by whom? Scandinavia. What's Scandinavia doing? Separate war. 2 days and we'll begin negotiations. Hang on. Took this area, took that area as well. .43 chance they may surrender. Not gonna make it. Lundberg. Even though you're a small country. But this is not related to the war, so there'll be no offers to be sent. Because we never done anything to them. But white peace is good enough for me. 980 allied casualties so far. Ottoman ships, these are just light ships, one transport. They're not sending expeditionary forces. They're just out there. Again, after this winter where we will take less attrition damage, we have to go through Anatolia. And we gotta go to Constantinople. Because this is how we're going to have to end this bloody war. If we can't save the Commonwealth, then maybe we can save Venice too. And also get the big difference makers. Flaunt them out of the war, but the French will be even harder. That requires a combined team effort. No matter what happens, we'll be there. But certainly the French will be watching if we try to make any move towards Warsaw. We can never defeat French morale. We are not known for our morale. We're known for inflicting a lot of damage to the enemy. Come on. Get sweet. Is there a river crossing between here and there? No. They're still in retreat. Come on, this way. Nope, we can't get them. There's a ford in the way. Very well then. Let's take this fort down. Cover us. No territory gains. The heck? Defenders deserts. Garrison's not surrendered. We might be coming in soon, but there's 2 French armies out there. Can't dislodge them. We gotta at least scare them away. Just drive them out. So the Allies are now committing themselves in the European front and also retake that territory. Okay, last month for this year and for this episode. Able to take Shan with the help of Lana. It's likely to go for El Kerak next. We see the development. You're actually sitting on the most developed area. Okay then. Let's set up a supply depot here. This is part of the Syria area. And you got Aleppo. Aleppo too, so this is where we will camp here for this winter. And then after the winter blows over most of Anatolia. Well, actually, most of the winter is over there, and there is no such winter here yet, but there's a couple of obstacles to go. Through there, through Ankara, Sugla, this straits here, and 2 straits, Elita, Gallipoli, and Constantinople. Well, we have most definitely cut them off, and so our forces will destroy the Ottoman armies there, as we will hold most of Egypt. And then, subsequently, we will take the war to Anatolia, and then we'll enter it through there, when the fleet blockades the area, keeping them at bay. But as for the rest of the enemies, unsure. There is winter here, so get off of there. Come on. You can make yourselves at home here. Lana about to fight against 10,000 of the Ottomans. Be willing to assist if you're committed, movement locked. Might as well destroy him. We could help him besiege Al-Karak. But soon the, no, Mongolians are not moving that way. Towards that direction. They should, you know, go after Tabuk. No, there's no river crosser through there, so you better take that quickly as possible. Would be wise if we were to hold there, where there'll be river crossers no matter where we stand. Breach it. Gotta take this area, so that way we can occupy the delta, and we'll have a much easier time. There's no reason for you to blockade there. Why don't you just let them go? When they move, we move. Oh, what the hell is this? Japanese fleet fighting against Genoese, Florentine, Athenian, and French ships. They're outnumbered out there, so they got transports. I think they're carrying troops. So it might be too late for us because we weren't aware of this as we were just realizing that our doom is near. Look, you'll do well no matter what. We change our mind about the transports. Go to the other side, head to Tunis. Make a landing here as we will provide safe passage. So that way when the Egyptian front is complete, they have to be sent to Europe to go save Venice. You'll have to be committed to a new front. The amount of troops we have is good enough for out here, but not for Europe. Need to restore the confidence of everybody involved there. Damn, you're moving so fast. I said, need to scare them away. But I don't think that plan's working. God, it's over after 18 days. Come on, follow us. We can defeat them out there before they have a chance to reinforce theirs. They're mainly infantry oriented. Well, we're gonna try to encamp ourselves for this coming winter, which would just barely enough of that supply limit here. Fuck. Put one here, and that increases the limit. You'll be fine. This is for this area. Not what I expected. Mughal fleet is able to reach, but unfortunately the Japanese fleet is in retreat. And the Ottoman fleet's on the move again. They're likely going to go over there to defeat the Venetian fleet. What happens when you're leaderless? Nope, they're all sticking together. Maybe pick off a few as a show of vengeance. Just to see if any of them will budge. Oh, there's a river crossing no matter where you go. Even Wawa too. It's one of the most protected areas of them, yeah. Oh, Lublin. No, there's a river crossing there. In fact, all of its surrounding counties. The river flows through there. I wonder why it's a strategically important place to be. Oh, who else is there? Terra Australis joined. And there's going to be a few more, if any. Meanwhile, battle's begun, and soon Sikadar Shah will come in and save the day. As we're cutting off flow of enemy reinforcements. If you can. But they're about to go to the Aegean. They're going to destroy the Venetian fleet there. Some of them budged. That's from over there. Yeah, we're definitely racking up the numbers here. He's present. Faster reinforced speed. Their prestige is not good for the Ottomans because they've been suffering defeat after defeat after defeat. Unless they pick somebody their own size. As the old saying goes. I think it would be better if we commit ourselves to Carpathian front if Warsaw is saved, but I don't think it's worth saving now. How many do they have? Heavy ships and some galleys, but we're only bringing in the big guns. We couldn't save the Japanese fleet in time. We didn't know you were going to be out there. With the transport fleet now moving away, you know what, let's blockade them. Make sure they don't leave so we can ensure guaranteed safe passage. When they occupy most of the Egyptian coast to the areas that we wanted to take. Where we'll have to send some to Europe. These armies to Balkans. Help Venice. Retake territories and all that. Because now they're throwing their lot this way. And this opens the door for Anatolia for next year. After one heavy ship, they retreated to the Ionian Sea. Let's go destroy their fleet. We won't be able to save them, but we'll try to destroy them. This is a battle for vengeance. They left. They left. The city was about to fall. And they left. They decided to commit here, even though we took a river crossing, which is my fault, yes. Oh god, here comes the French. Oh god, what are we doing? What are we doing? The French will kill us. We will be receiving reinforcements soon. Only sunk one light ship out there. Meanwhile, apparently the battle's not going good for us. Crud. We've been having bad rolls lately. The general's got way better shock than I do with the others. He does. It's the artillery that's killing us. What happened to the morale? Apparently this Egyptian campaign is also a failure. This was not a good year. Pull back. All of you. All of you, pull back to Tadmor. Guess you go meet with the others. This mission was a failure. But the war enthusiasm is low, so... No, you did well, it's just... Apparently they got the best of us this time. Because they had a heavy emphasis on infantry, we did not. We weren't fully reinforced. We couldn't be there fast enough. All that. And meanwhile, there's going to be another disaster waiting. We took a river crossing. We took a bad roll. But nonetheless, we were able to hold our ground. Because we know many more were coming. And the French forces that we faced aren't the best ones. But if we try to commit again, look at us. Look what they did to us. They mauled us. Just hold your positions. It's just, do we have the morale for this? That is the real question. Apparently we couldn't do it, so... You lot who will be going to... Haman, Tadmor, make way! No, Haleb. Oh no, stay there. Once you get back your positions, you need to recommit. Apparently they found their courage. I don't know where they get it from, but they do. But we still have not taken a relevant objective yet. Eastern Black Sea. Hold your ground. Who knows what the French are up to? Oh, they're coming. Oh no. No retreat here, and this is their best general. Heavy emphasis on infantry and artillery. No cavalry. Even though we brought the 37th Army over, which is infantry oriented. But it's going to be them and them alone, but it's possible that more reinforcements will be coming. So clearly this is hopeless. But we will try to put the hurt, because we keep picking off heavy ship after heavy ship. If we can destroy their heavy ships, we can destroy their galleys with ease. They will no doubt take that area back. We should have stayed and let them go wherever. But no, we were greedy about picking them off one by one. Even though you clearly have established that they are an infinite. What the hell are you guys doing? It's gonna be one military disaster or another. One more battle for this episode. And I am not gonna like this. Master of Arms. He's got hell of a way to deal with infantry. And we're not in the mood for this. We need to get out of here. We gotta get out of here somewhere. So you can't leave till 11 days. Okay, January 29th. Get out of there. If there's even going to be an army by then. The morale is so low. We're killing them, but there's going to be more reinforcements and things are going to get ugly. We sunk a few more. Commonwealth captured a ship. Papal fleet. Whatever you do, just hold your positions. Whatever conflict you may get involved in. Get back over here. Stick together. As I said, we're killing them, but there's gonna be more enemy reinforcements heading this way. Send them that's where they're going. Get on the south. Actually, hold the line for just a few more days. We can hold on a few more days, but it's likely they're gonna just keep things going, but they've turned back already. We can't stay here. Venice is the safest place that I can see out there. I think committing to the Venetian front would make them feel safe, help them retake their fortresses, and then they'll have a fighting chance to keep them away from the main battlegrounds. They will arrive on the 31st. 31st, how many is that? Along with Saxony. Okay, just a few more days, then begin withdrawal. Because we'll kill them off a few more. They're not going to be there for the south. We'll retreat before the French arrive. We're giving them costly casualties. But our morale is not going to be very good soon after all this. So, prepare to retreat. They're going to arrive on the 8th, same day as... 3, 2, 1. Alright, you've killed enough of them here. Get out. Head to Venice. Just... all directions have pointed towards Venezia, so good. We will make our swift withdrawal. So we don't get caught out there. It's a lost cause up there. Same for the Mongols. What the f are you doing? Not to fight against the Ottomans out there. The Egyptian campaign was a failure. Mongol Japanese forces present nearby, so they'll be assisting us. No doubt. While we are fighting against the fleet of the papacy and the Florentine. We have captured one ship of each type from these two fleets as we've destroyed them all. Well done. Right. So, again, war theories isn't good. For Japan, they're just under strength. While many are relatively quite fresh. But as for the Ottomans, well, they finally got their courage back somehow. Brunswick, we've beat them up. So much so. If there's one silver lining in all this, and that's those who want out of the war, every little bit helps. We don't desire any territory. We just want you out. So what happened? They got nothing. They can't function, so okay, there's an excuse of why they should leave the war. I think they were there in that last battle, and we've killed off the last of their regiments. We can't assume everything. Because you know I have no good memory. Well, okay, not even money. I don't think we ever fought them at all because war scores medium, so probably Commonwealth killed them all. So we have reached over 1 million casualties for Allied losses. And soon there's about to be another battle for the Ottomans to fight against the Vietnamese. So apparently the Asian forces are not doing well against the Ottomans. But soon, in the next episode, some forces must return to the Egyptian front, but will be assisted by Mongolian Japanese forces. Which, in fact, I think it would be most wise for these two generals to be assisted by the nearby forces of Mongolia and Japan to fight in Egypt. Because I am still determined, and I am stubbornly, because look, transport ships are on their way. Australian ships they're going to be out of the way. We're going to be committed to there no matter what. We have to send forces to get Venice, stay into this war, no matter what happens. The Commonwealth will be out of the war soon, because they can't take it anymore. Their back is broken. As you can see. So we suffered a lot here. We lost half of our manpower. And meanwhile, in other front lines, the French are still stubbornly committed to the California, Mexico, Rio Grande front. Central American front, basically. Well, the good news is, the Alaska Panhandle is on the verge of being fully liberated, so they will fully commit their forces to there. And this one stubborn French garrison, well, they will soon fall to the forces of Newfoundland. And Ottoman ships engaging with Newfoundland ships at Torres Strait. And we know the other Ottoman fleet. Try to fight against the Japanese fleet, I dare them. Japan still has some manpower. Mongolia's still got a great amount of manpower, so these losses are affordable. So this was a very changing year, so this may have been a turning point of this war. But will next year's war, for 1802, be a turning point? As the war enthusiasm for all the countries are getting lower and lower due to numerous losses of being fought out of the front lines and all that. And it's likely that revolutionary Holland might be next to get occupied, because some Commonwealth forces are still out there, and if this area were to fall, then Holland is out of the war. So let's just hope that 1802 for the next episode will not be the year that the European campaign fails. And the Egyptian campaign, though it was a huge setback for us, but it also must not fail, because there's two large Ottoman armies still out there, and this would be trouble for us, because this spring and summer we will begin the Anatolian offensive. We have to go to Constantinople as possible, and a transport fleet must be guaranteed safety to head towards it. So we found out there is no troops in that transport. So we might have to go with them temporarily just to provide safe transportation all the way up to there, and then we must return back there. We're gonna have to let the French fleet go to wherever it wants, knowing that the large British fleet is still out there, currently in repairs. I mean, the British are still not at all useless. I believe they're doing a good job in the North American front, keeping the French busy. I at this area so they don't commit to Europe. Even though it's all hell right now with the Balkans and the Carpathian front. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will have to say so long for now, and reached over 2 million casualties, and there might be another more million losses for this year. So we'll see you next time. Pray for peace.